Laudetur Jesus Christus. Vatican and World News.
In the headlines this Sunday, May the 23rd, Pope Francis asks for prayers for believers in China. He appeals for dialogue in Colombia and asks all men and women of goodwill to keep heeding the cry of the earth and of the poor. Greece, Cyprus, Spain and Malta feature in Rome churches as the Iter Europaeum continues to celebrate the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the EU and the Holy See. And the Pope celebrates Pentecost Sunday, inviting Catholics to open their hearts to the Holy Spirit. In the Vatican, I'm Linda Bordoni. At the Regina Coeli on Sunday, Pope Francis invited the faithful throughout the world to accompany Chinese Catholics in prayer as they prepare to celebrate the feast of Our Lady, Help of Christians, their national patron. Christopher Wells reports.
I fedeli cattolici in Cina domani celebrano la festa della Beata Vergine Maria, aiuto dei cristiani, e celeste patrona del loro grande paese.
Tomorrow, the Catholic faithful in China celebrate the feast of Our Lady, Help of Christians, the celestial patron of their country, said Pope Francis in remarks following the Regina Coeli on Sunday. The Holy Father recalled the great devotion of Chinese Christians to the Mother of the Lord and of the Church at her sanctuary of Shishan in Shanghai. Under the title of Our Lady of Shishan, or Our Lady of China, she is assiduously invoked by Christian families in the trials and hopes of daily life.
Quanto è buono e quanto necessario che I membri di una famiglia e di una comunità cristiana siano sempre più uniti nell'amore, nella fede.
He added, how good and how necessary it is for the members of a Christian family and community to be ever more united in love and faith. In this way, he continued, parents and children, grandparents and babies, pastors and faithful can follow the example of the first disciples who on the solemnity of Pentecost were united in prayer with Mary as they waited for the Holy Spirit. The Pope invited all the faithful throughout the world to accompany with fervent prayer the Christian faithful in China, whom he called our dear brothers and sisters, whom I hold in the depths of my heart. Pope Francis prayed that the Holy Spirit, the protagonist of the Church's mission in the world, might guide and help them to be bearers of the good news, witnesses of goodness and charity, and builders of justice and peace in their homeland. I'm Christopher Wells.
And Pope Francis today asked for prayers for strife-ridden Colombia and for the people of Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where entire districts have been evacuated due to the eruption of a volcano.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, affido alle preghiere di tutti voi la situazione in Colombia.
On Pentecost Sunday, and for the second time in a month, Pope Francis expressed his concern for the situation in Colombia, asking believers to join him in prayer for the suffering of the people. The Pope was speaking during the Regina Coeli in St. Peter's Square. I pray that the beloved Colombian people may receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit and that through serious dialogue, just solutions may be found to the many problems they are inflicted with, especially for those who suffer poverty due to the pandemic.
Poveri dovuto alla pandemia.
The Holy Father also urged everyone for humanitarian reasons to avoid dangerous behavior for the good health of all as they exercise their right to demonstrate peacefully.
Nell'esercizio del diritto alla protesta pacifica.
The Latin American nation visited by Pope Francis in 2017 at the start of a peace process agreed between the government and the FARC rebels has been engulfed in protests after the government of Ivan Duque proposed increasing taxes amid the third wave of the coronavirus pandemic. Although the president withdrew the contentious tax reform proposal in the face of public anger, demonstrations have persisted, aggravated by a brutal crackdown. At least 40 protesters have been killed, hundreds injured, and many have been arrested. The Pope's appeal for prayers for Colombia comes in the wake of an appeal issued by the Catholic bishops of Colombia, who uphold dialogue as the only path to a solution. It is fundamental, the bishops say, to listen, to understand, and to efficiently find solutions to the demands of those who protest peacefully. This is the only way to build the peace we all want together. And continuing in his address to the faithful gathered for the Regina Coeli prayer, the Pope said, "Let us also pray for the population in the city of Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo that is forced to flee because of the eruption of the Nyiragongo volcano."
Preghiamo anche per le popolazioni della città di Goma.
Goma was thrown into panic on Saturday evening as Mount Nyiragongo erupted, sending a wall of orange lava downhill towards the lakeside city of about 2 million people. Thousands fled on foot with their belongings, some towards the nearby border with Rwanda. However, on Sunday morning, the flow appears to have halted just short of the city. Residents in some of the affected districts sorted through the mangled remains of tin roofs in tiny individual efforts in what will likely be a months-long campaign to restore the zone. It was not immediately clear if anyone had died or how widespread the material damage was. Also, during the Regina Coeli prayer, Pope Francis invited men and women across the globe to continue to walk the path of environmental and social respect and justice by continuing to heed the cry of the earth and of the poor. Reminding the faithful that Monday, the 24th of May, marks the end of the Laudato Si year, the Pope thanked the thousands of people who animated the year with numerous initiatives across the world. Reiterating that it is a journey to be continued, the Pope announced that the Laudato Si action platform will immediately kick off. He explained that the platform is based on a 7-year action plan that will guide families, parishes and diocesan communities, schools and universities, hospitals, businesses, movements, organizations and religious institutes, and help them to adopt sustainable lifestyles. The Pope also took the occasion to send his greetings and best wishes to the many Laudato Si platform animators, whom he said have received the mandate to spread the gospel of creation and take care of our common home. Iter Europeum is an initiative marking the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the European Union and the Holy See. The project aims to show and enhance the deep links between the European Union and its 27 member states and the Holy See. For the walkway, each country has chosen a church to which it is particularly attached for historical reasons or because of the links with their community in Rome. The launch on the 9th of May coincided with Europe Day, and the initiative will continue until the 27th of June. Each Sunday there is a liturgical celebration, a concert or a guided tour at the selected church and basilica. Today it's the turn of Greece, of Cyprus, of Spain and of Malta. Speaking to Vatican Radio, the Cypriot ambassador to the Holy See, Georg Poulides, highlighted the excellent relations between the church in Rome and the Greek Orthodox community that lives in the city.
Rome's Orthodox community from Cyprus and other Orthodox countries live in perfect harmony in the magnificent city. Relations between Orthodox and Catholics are very cordial and constructive. In 2004, Pope John Paul II, in a beautiful sign of ecumenical fraternity, granted the Church of St. Theodore of the Palatine Hill to the Orthodox community of Rome. The church was inaugurated by His All Holiness Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew of Constantinople. His Beatitude, the Archbishop of Cyprus, has also visited Rome in 2007, while Pope Benedict visited Cyprus in 2010. Rome's Cypriot community is delightful and grateful to live, thrive and prosper in this unique city and to contribute constructively to its diverse cultural and spiritual landscape. There is a series of commemorative events of the project Inter-Europeum of the EU delegation to the Holy See. Within this context, the Embassy of Cyprus and the Embassy of Greece to the Holy See, in cooperation with His Excellency the Orthodox Archbishop of Italy, celebrate the Divine Liturgy this Sunday, May 23rd, at the Church of St. Theodore of the Palatine Hill. The diplomatic corps accredited to the Holy See have also been invited to this liturgical celebration, as well as the prefect of the Congregation for the Oriental Churches, His Eminence Leonardo Cardinal Sandri. We are very delighted to be able to contribute in such a significant spiritual manner to the celebration of Iter Europeum.
And that was the ambassador of Cyprus to the Holy See, Georg Polides, speaking there to Vatican Radio. And finally, presiding over Mass in St. Peter's Basilica during the morning of Pentecost Sunday, Pope Francis recalled Jesus' promise to send his disciples the Holy Spirit, the ultimate gift, the gift of gifts, the Spirit who is the very love of God. Thaddeus Jones tells us more.
In his homily for the Pentecost Sunday Mass, Pope Francis reflected on the meaning of the mysterious word, difficult to translate, that Jesus used to describe the Holy Spirit, Paraclete. He said two essential meanings are present, comforter and advocate.
Il Paraclito è il consolatore.
In difficult times we look for consolation, the Pope observed, but often we only look for earthly remedies which do not last, working only like a temporary pain reliever, in which they can soothe us but not heal us. Instead, someone who makes us feel loved for who we are can offer peace to our hearts, not just our senses. And here, the Holy Spirit, the love of God, is the solution. And the experience of the apostles should give us hope, he observed. Despite their fears, weaknesses, and failings, everything changed when they received the Spirit. While their weaknesses and problems didn't disappear, they were no longer afraid of them or of those who were hostile to them, he said. They felt God's comfort, consolation, and support within and wanted only to share it and testify to this love they had received. In his second point in his homily, the Pope looked at the meaning of Paraclete as the advocate. As the Spirit of truth, the Holy Spirit defends us from the deceits of evil by inspiring thoughts and feelings. We have three antidotes here, the Pope said. The first is that the Holy Spirit advises us to live in the present, to not be chained by our past mistakes or frozen with fear for the future. There's no better time than now, he observed, the one and only time to do good, to make our life a gift. The Spirit also calls on us to look to the whole, to think beyond ourselves, to think as church with its wide range of charisms, and to look into a unity that is never uniformity. Finally, the Spirit calls us to a humble openness to God, to put God before yourself, the Pope said. Since the Spirit affirms the primacy of grace, we must empty ourselves in order to leave room for the Lord.
And thanks there to Thaddeus Jones for that report. Meanwhile, it brings us to the end of this edition of Vatican and World News. For more on these and other stories, you can visit our web portal at www.vaticannews.va, and you can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. My thanks go to Patrizio Ciprari. In the Vatican, I'm Linda Bordoni. Bye-bye.